participants are requested to open the camera. Again, it is requested that all participants should open their camera, please. And those who haven't got their roll numbers, kindly put their name and NOC in the WhatsApp group. जिसे रोल नंबर के डिटेल्स नहीं मिले हैं, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप चेक करिए आप। व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में पीडीएफ फाइल हमने डाली है, अगर उसमें आपका रोल नंबर आपको नहीं दिख रहा है, काइंडली पुट योर एनओसी व्हाट यू हैव सबमिटेड एंड योर नेम in the WhatsApp group. So before going to the formal inaugural session, I would request Amol to start his the banner and the university song.
आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमुचे काकडाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनलेला
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा विरलेला
सोन पहाट उदयाचे गीत आमुचे उजेडाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संग्राचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
Thank you, Amul. You can stop the banner. So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome our former Vice Chancellor, Honorable Professor Dr. Vijay Pandharipande, sir. He is graduated from VRCE, now VNIT, Nagpur, MTech PhD in ECE, Microwave and Radar Engineering from IIT Kharagpur. After serving as a scientific officer in TFIR Mumbai, served as a faculty member uh, at Radar and Communication Center IIT from 1974 to 1983. Joined as a professor in ECE Usmania University in the year 1983 and served till retirement in 2009. Served as a director of CEME, Emeritus Professor, before serving as a Vice Chancellor of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar from 2011 to 2014. He has successfully guided 14 PhD scholars and published more than 160 research papers. Was coordinator of 2 World Bank projects. Successfully completed several research projects sponsored by DOE, DRDO, CSIR, AICT, DST. He has been awarded Best Teacher Award by Government of Andhra Pradesh, Sir Vishwavarya Award from Institute of Engineering, Anna University, National Award from IST, 3 awards from IET, Delhi, including Ramalal Wadhev Gold Medal. He continues to teach at ECE Usmania University even at the age of 75 and has a unique distinction of Tech at OU for over 4 decades. A popular writer in Marathi with 32 books to credit, he has trained thousands of scientists, engineers, faculty members in radar and communication engineering by organizing workshops and short intensive courses. He served as an head dean at OU, Usmania University, and is first director of VNIT. So indeed, it is really a pleasure and honor for all of us to have him here as a resource person, as a keynote speaker for this inaugural session. So again, I welcome Honorable Sir to this first day of NEP orientation and sensitization course, and I would now hand over the session to him. Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Sir, unmute, करिए, sir, unmute.
Who is going to be the next?
Next resource person, sir.
Huh?
No one, sir. No one is there.
Dr. Mahasan will not go to come?
She is in a meeting of.
Okay. Okay. Then it's okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I am pleased to be associated with you this afternoon for this course on NEP. And I have been asked to talk about autonomy teaching. But mostly today, I have decided that I should talk about teacher. Because basically, education means teaching, and a teacher is the primary element, rather the main element in this whole process. So today I thought I will concentrate on teacher, because quality of education, whatever you may say, good or bad, it always depends on teacher. First, let us know what is the meaning of education. Education, education. What is the real meaning of this word, so-called education? This word education has come from the word educe, E-D-U-C-E, which literally means to deliver, to come out, to deliver or to come out. And that is how it is education. That is the reason that we say lecture is delivered. We don't say we are talking, we are giving lecture. We say lecture is delivered. Now this word deliver is very important, delivery. I think most of the participants, many participants are ladies here, ladies. And they know the real meaning of this word delivery. Delivery is giving a birth, creating something new, innovative, something innovative you are creating. You are giving birth to a new life. And that is why actually that is the really, we say lecture is delivered. And please remember, when we say, even in that delivery, we say who has delivered. Doctor doesn't deliver, nurse doesn't deliver. The concerned mother delivers. So education is delivery. Now, what is delivery? Something coming out. But unfortunately, what has happened, instead of coming out, we are just giving it in. I mean, we are reverse, unfortunately, we have reversed the process. We are putting in. Instead of giving out, coming out, we are putting in. And therefore, I thought that I should concentrate more on teacher and teaching. And that also I have decided that I will tell you the stories. What is a teacher, good teacher, or bad teacher, or excellent teacher? I will tell you through examples, through stories, because there is a famous historian, professor, Noel Harari. You must have heard his name. Many books are popular, Sapien, 21st Lessons of 21st Century, etc., etc. So he says, our whole civilization has grown only on stories. We believe in stories. Our religion, our democracy, our socialism, everything is through stories. Our economics, money matter, everything is story, and we believe stories. So it is all based on storytelling business. Now, why do we say that quality of education has deteriorated? You see, you ask anybody, your grandfather, father, who is 70 plus, he or she will always tell education was much better in our time than now. Whereas the quantity wise, it has increased. Number of courses have increased. Number of universities, IITs, NITs, number of intake has increased. It has become open to ladies. I think, I do not know whether you know the story or not, that the famous institute, Indian Institute of Science, which of course originally it was called as Tata Institute, this at Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, which is equivalent to IIT. It was earlier, now also actually his basic name is Tata Institute. So this Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, the first director was none other than Professor C.V. Raman. So I'm starting my story of a teacher through Professor C.V. Raman, who was, as you know, Nobel laureate. He was the director. At that time, one lady applied for a PhD. She was MSc already, and she applied for PhD. I think nutrition. Her subject was nutrition. Her name is Leena Sohani. Leena Sohani. Those who are Marathi-speaking people or Maharashtrian, I can tell you that she is the sister of Durga Bhagwat, who is a very famous Marathi writer and she was a very well-known writer, and she participated in that some way, different movements also. Durga Bhagwat. So she is the sister of Durga Bhagwat. Her name is Leena Sohani. So when she applied, Professor C.V. Raman rejected the application. He said, IISc will not admit any girl student. She asked, why? No, he said, you cannot manage with the boys. I don't have a single girl student. I don't have facilities for girls. We don't have washroom for girls. So you will find a lot of difficulty. So she insisted. In fact, she did, as you know, nowadays, some satyagraha, anchan, uposhan, this type of things are going on. So literally she did that type of agitation. And ultimately, she said, you don't bother. If bathroom is not there, I will manage. And he also put a condition that you should not mix with the students, boy students. You should work alone. So she agreed everything. And believe me, Leena Sohni is first PhD from Indian Institute of Science, first lady doctorate from Indian Institute of Science, and she became a very good. Her work is in nutrition, etc. Science. Anyway, so this was the condition of education, and that is how it has come to do this thing. Now, before that, when Dr. Rafe introduced me, he told I'm from engineering field. My basic, field is engineering. And he also told that my branch is electronics and communication engineering. Now, I am now introducing to you, and this is also a way how to teach or how to convince a people. So I am telling what is engineering. And I am going to tell you the engineering definition in only one sentence. Only one sentence, that's all. And in that sentence is definition of engineering is, I do not know whether out of these 100 plus participants, anybody is engineer or not. Is there anybody engineer? He can unmute and say yes. Anybody from engineering?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm an
Oh, so,
engineer.
okay. Whosoever said yes, sir, can you tell me what is engineering? Just one sentence I want. What is engineering? Who said yes, sir, just now?
I'm not from the engineering background, but
Oh,
I
you said,
want to
you
reply
said
to.
you are engineer. You said you are
Yeah.
engineer.
I'm not the one who said yes, but I want to reply to your question saying that engineering is the use of science and technology to solve the real world problems.
Okay, let us say see, everybody solves real world problem. It is not that
Mhm.
only engineering is solving. Even science
That's right.
also solves. You see, applied physics or whatever it is, they also solve real problem. Even in that sense, even a commerce person, he is
Right.
solving a problem in finance. Is it not? Marketing, management people also they do it. So everybody is solving problem. Anybody
Mhm.
else engineer who is engineering degree?
Yes, sir. So
Yes,
basically,
tell me.
yeah, we study science and mathematics and we tend to apply
See,
that knowledge.
I did not ask you what do you study. I said
No. All
define.
right. Or with the help of knowledge on topics from
No.
science and
Oh.
mathematics, we tend to create something new.
No, that even science person also creates. I am asking basically engineering.
What is the core
Bridges
different
the knowledge
thing?
between discovery and education
Yes.
application. Bridging between education and application.
Okay. Okay. Let us see so many definitions. Now let me tell you my definition, or rather that appropriate definition. The engineering is, and this must be, see, whenever you tell definition, it must be applicable to all engineering field, all branches. In fact, it should be common. So engineering is a study of relationship our study of relationship between cause and effect. That's all. There is some cause, it produces some effect, right? So what is the relationship between cause and effect? That is engineering. That's all, nothing else. Okay? It is a relationship between cause and effect. All mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, civil engineering, some cause is there, it produces some effect, and studying the relationship between this cause and effect is called engineering. And he also told me my branch is electronics and communication engineering. Now, I will tell you in one sentence, which all of you can understand, what is electronics and communication engineering. Now, electronics and communication engineering is nothing but one sentence, maximum power transfer. That's all. All 4 years, these fellows, electronics communication engineering fellows study only one thing, maximum power transfer. That is, you have something at position A that has to be delivered to position B. That may be a audio signal, video signal, text signal, picture, data, letter, whatever it is. I have to faithfully reproduce it at B, or I have to transmit from A to B faithfully as it is, 100%. Of course, 100% will not be possible, ideal will not be possible, but it is maximum power transfer. Okay, so that is what I have introduced my subject and my branch. Now I am giving you all of you homework. For all of you, there is a small homework. You also define in one sentence about your number one branch, whether it is commerce, literature, art, philosophy, history, etc., etc. So about your branch and about your subject, whatever your subject. Just like mine was electronics communication engineering, and main branch, main thing was engineering. So in one sentence, all of you will define your subject and your course both and send it to the coordinator. This is the first homework. Before I start telling about the teacher and teaching, let me also tell you that whatever inferences I am going to tell, whatever statements I am going to make, somebody's video is on, they can switch off their video. Please switch off your video. Okay, so I do not claim that whatever statements I am making or whatever inferences I am drawing, all of you should agree with it. No, not required. Because sometimes I may even make some blunt statements which may hurt you, because I call spade as a spade. It may hurt you, but please, you can have different opinion and you have a liberty and you have a freedom to have different opinion or even opposite opinion. So for that, you must excuse me. I will be making some blunt statement. You may agree or you have a right to disagree also. Now, let us start with the basic business of teacher. Okay. Now, I'm sure all of you like stories. So I shall start telling stories about some of the teachers who came in my life and some of the experiences as a teacher in my own personal life. Let us start with the school business. In my school, we had an English teacher from 9 to 11, we had an English teacher, and I'm telling you about his story. He was a very good teacher. How he was, at that time, I'm telling this about 1960, 62, 63, 64. That is the year. That is the time, 62, 63, 64. That time, many teachers used to come, their dress, attire used to be dhoti, kurta, and cap. So this person also, English teacher, was dhoti, kurta, and cap. Now his way of teaching was, he will come, sit in the chair. Throughout 60 minutes, he will sit in the chair. Ask somebody to stand up. There were fixed 1 or 2 students, and I was one of them. He will ask them to stand up, and I have to read. Whether suppose he is teaching an essay, he is teaching a story, he is teaching a poem, I have to read it sentence by sentence, and after every sentence, he will start explaining. And suppose he is asking me to do it, I was supposed to stand up throughout 60 minutes. I cannot sit. I have to be on my toes. So it was difficult for me to stand up and also take notes. Please remember, it is very difficult to take notes when you are standing. And that too without looking, because you have to look to the teacher. So you have to look to the teacher and blindly write on the very fast on your notebook. And that I learned. It is because he forced me to stand up and read the lesson or poem. And he used to tell, meaning of that, etc. And that is how the class. But another difficulty or peculiarity of this teacher was he used to give marks in as 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. In fractions, he used to give marks. See, generally we give marks 1, 2, 3, 4. No. He used to give 1/2, 1/4, 3/4, and highest mark in our class used to be hardly 27 or 28 out of 50. Highest used to be. Whereas there was another section. I mean, there were two sections. In another section, marks used to be, highest mark used to be 45, 42 out of 50. So you can see, for a person who is competing, how he will lose because of this teacher. And that is what, and I am one of the victim because of this. What happened? Because he used to give our highest mark used to be 28, 29. And same thing happened that time also. There was some sessional marks, that is to the board. Whatever school sends the marks to the board, what is called, you call it as a sessional mark. So that 20 out of 20. So he must have given me out of 20, maybe 10 or 11. That's all. Whereas other class person must have got 15, 18 or 19 also. As a result, in board, I lost my distinction in English by only 1 mark. Otherwise, I would have got distinction in all the subjects. I did not get distinction in English only by 1 mark. It means in actual board I got many marks, but this teacher, he did not give me good sessional marks. I lost my distinction by 1 mark and the first rank by 3 marks. I would have come first. I came third or fourth in whole board. But in spite of this, I am telling you, after 50 years, or rather not 50 years, after 60 years, 65 years, the story of this teacher, because whatever English I have learned, whatever good communication skills I have learned, is because of this teacher. Who gave less marks. In spite of the fact that he gave less marks, I am still telling you with pride his story after 65 years. Remember. So this is the story of one teacher. There is a lot to lesson. And that time, remember, there was no hesitation. You cannot go to the teacher, fight with him. Why you gave me less marks? Like just now, people are fighting for marks. They are fighting for injustice being done, even to the Vice Chancellor. Please switch off the video. Somebody's video is on. You cannot have the video on and keep eating. Please switch off. It looks very odd. So, this is the story. There was no hesitation. There was no complaint to the teacher. There was no complaint to the headmaster or the principal that we got less marks. No, nobody. I am, of course, telling you after so many years this story because there is a lot to learn from this story. Next, it comes. My undergraduate education taught me mostly how not to teach. The sentence may look very odd, but it is fact. Except 30 or maybe 30% teachers were good at that time. For my engineering graduate education, 30% teachers were good, but 70% teachers, they were all fresh teachers. Electronics branch was coming recently, so they could not, there were not experienced teachers. So as a result, our undergraduate education, we suffered a lot. And because of that, when I got admission in IIT for my post-graduation, MTech, we suffered a lot. We suffered a lot. In fact, in that year, from our college, at least 3 to 4 students got selected in IIT, which is, of course, an appreciable number. I mean, at that time, getting 4 students from one institute getting admitted to IIT in one department was a great thing. But all 4 of us suffered a lot after getting admission in first semester. That time, there were 3 semesters. It was a trimester. Nowadays, people are talking about semester system, etc., continuous assessment, continuous thing. This was already there. There is nothing new in new education policy, let me tell you. All this methodology of continuous evaluation, interdisciplinary business, etc., it was all there. It was all there in IIT when I learned, when I did my postgraduate. So there was every 3 months there was an examination. So in the first examination or first semester, we suffered a lot. We suffered a lot. We could not understand many things. Our teachers used to literally abuse us, bang us, except hitting on my, chick. They have done everything. I mean, they say, you don't know this, what type of thing, what type of education you got in your undergraduate, etc. So I remember that time, as a student, as I was a young student, I wrote an inland letter to my professor in that engineering college where from I graduated. I had a daring. I wrote a letter that, sir, this time we have got 4 students admitted in this IIT, but the education here is so high level, and the way in which our undergraduate syllabus or curriculum is drafted is so poor that it does not match. There is a lot of mismatch between our undergraduate syllabus and syllabus of IIT. Therefore, if you don't change the syllabus immediately, maybe next year IIT will not admit students from our college. You will not believe. You will not believe. That inland letter which I wrote to that professor was put immediately in the academic council of that college by that professor. He told me, of course, this story he told me after so many years when I met him. But it seems that letter was put and whole syllabus was changed. Now you talk about autonomy. We want to change syllabus, we want to change, etc., etc. And when you say, why you want autonomy? You want freedom to draft the syllabus. Because university syllabus is old, it takes a lot of time to, revise the syllabus. Therefore, you want. So many times I used to ask this autonomous college, when you say the syllabus is not updated, have you written to that board of study chairman a letter that syllabus is not good, following changes should be? No, nobody wants to take any steps. We want only to criticize. We want only to talk, but we don't want to take action. Remember, my inland letter from IIT as a student forced Regional Engineering College or National Institute of Technology to change its syllabus. And that is how it happened. So this is how it happened. We had a very good teacher in IIT. Yes, hats off. I'm telling you, whatever biodata was read to you, whatever achievements I got, whatever laurels I have received, it is all because of those selected very good Bengali teachers at IIT Kharagpur. I'll tell you a story of one professor who was, of course, our guru. He taught us, but he is guru of our guru. Do you know guru of your guru? Which means I have done my MTech and PhD with one professor called Professor Das, and this person about whom I am talking, he is Professor Sanyal, who is a guru of Professor Das, means my guru's guru. This Professor Sanyal was head of the department at that time. Very young, smart person. The only person in IIT, who used to come to the class and to the uh, department with full suit, neck, tie, boot, nobody has seen him. Please switch off video. Nobody has seen him without tie, suit, always. Even in summer also, he will be with full suit. And excellent teacher, excellent teacher. Do you know, this person who has produced dozens of PhD in IIT, including my guide, including my guru, himself was not PhD. Professor Sanyal, who produced more than dozen PhD, and including our professor, he became a professor without PhD. He was not PhD, but he guided dozens of PhD. At that time, IIT was liberal in terms of appointments, in terms of they wanted good teacher in IIT. They were so much botheration was not there. Because why I am telling you this story? Because many people ask, is PhD essential for becoming a good teacher? My answer will be no. Not yes, it adds to your qualities, but it is not that all those who are PhD, it means automatically you are a good teacher. No. And at that time, in our time, even without PhD, you could become a professor. In fact, you will not believe, in IIT, in our department, there was a professor. On paper, his specialization was in something else. In fact, his specialization was in microwave and radar engineering. But this person, who is only postgraduate and specialization is something else, did not produce a single research paper also, did not do any research, did not do PhD also. Believe me, he became a professor of computer science in IIT. In biodata, on paper, he cannot prove that he is expert in computer science. He cannot prove. But he was expert in computer science only by teaching, only by doing projects, only by doing. So in engineering or in science, doing is very important. What are we doing? What the problem with our present education system is, we are printing degrees. We are printing degrees every year. Padvi Dan. Dan is donation. We are Padvi Dan. We are donating degrees. We are not, hardly anybody is gaining degree, earning degree. Earning is different than donating. I tell you, very few are earning. You ask yourself, those who are PhD, ask yourself tonight before going to sleep, who has used my PhD work? Which organization? How it has affected society? How it has improved the life of human being? My PhD work. Has it done anything good for society? Good for government, state government, central government, world, field of science, medicine, arts, social work, anything, economics? Has it contributed anything? If not, question mark. But that is the problem. So this person, and another thing, this Professor Sanyal became a director of IIT, not only professor. He was a professor at the age of 45 or something. At the age of 45, he became a professor. But he became also a director without holding a degree of PhD. At that. Another person who was, of course, another thing. This I'm talking about a professor who became a professor of computer science without having any qualification in computer science, was not Bengali. IIT Kharagpur means everybody is Bengali. I mean, most of the population was Bengali. But this gentleman was not Bengali. He was Gujarati. Why I am telling this? Because there was no discrimination. Quality was important. Quality was important. They did not, in fact, you will not believe, 2 or 3 Maharashtrian students in IIT Kharagpur, we were liked more than Bengali students by our teachers. In fact, for PhD, when the question of selection for PhD came, those Bengali professors preferred, they used to prefer Maharashtrians and Telugu. Yes, you will not believe. Compared to Bengali students, I mean, those professor is a Bengali, but he will prefer Telugu or Maharashtrian. Sincerity matters. Truthfulness matters. Hard worker matters in the case of PhD. Now, one story I want to tell you about this Professor Sanyal. He was teaching us in one semester and one course, Professor Sanyal. And he used to, a beautiful teacher, I tell you. Even if a 12th class student goes to his class, in MTech class, postgraduate, he can understand what is talking. Excellent teacher. And beautiful handwriting, very good modulation, very good voice, clarity. In fact, I tell you, now the subject has come. What is a good communication? What is a good communication? Whether it is oral or in writing. I tell you, qualities of good communication are, first I will tell them in Hindi, and you can translate it in English, of course. First quality, spasht, crystal clear. Communication should be spasht, crystal clear. Second quality, it must be sahaj, natural, no ornamental sentences, no decoration, no, sahaj. Third quality, saral, easy to understand, easy to digest. And fourth quality, saras, means interesting, not boring. I'll repeat. It should be what is a good quality? How can you say that a teacher is a good communicator? Qualities are spasht, sahaj, saral, saras, crystal clear, natural, easy to understand, and interesting. That is why I am telling you stories. Stories will keep you holding. If I, use a blackboard and keep on writing big equations, big phenomena, and tell you big philosophies, you get bored. You will feel sleepy. But if I tell you stories, you will immediately ask, what happened? What is next? So, sahaj, spashta, saral, and saras. These are the good qualities of this teacher. And Professor Sanyal was one of that teachers. So what happened in that semester, he was supposed to teach us 5 chapters from one book. In fact, in IIT, there is no syllabus, etc. I mean, there is no written syllabus. Whatever is teacher teaching, that is the syllabus. If you ask in department, please give me a copy of syllabus, you will not get. I mean, at least that time it was there. No syllabus, written syllabus was available. Whatever is teaching, teacher is teaching, that is syllabus. But we were told by seniors that in that semester he is supposed to teach 5 chapters from one book. So semester came to an end. Now after 1 week or 2 weeks, there was an exam, and Professor Sannal taught only one chapter. Only one chapter. He did not teach second, third, fourth chapter. Now we were all worried. How can you appear for the examination when in course there are 5 chapters, but he taught only one chapter. So all of us got scared and we went to him. With daring, we went to him. And we asked, sir, it seems we are supposed to learn 5 chapters, but you taught only one chapter. The sentence which he spoke, I cannot forget in my life. He said, Pandharipande, and of course, others also were there. If I teach you all chapters, if I teach you everything, what you will learn? What you will learn? If I teach you everything, what you will learn? It means his expectation was, I have taught you basic. Now it is for you to develop. That's what. This is very important. If I teach you everything, what will you learn? That is the fault with our education system. We teach everything. We don't allow the students to think. We don't allow the students to question. We don't allow students to think in a different way. I'll give you an example. You teach in a class. Everybody has learned in a class, in school, that sum of 3 angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Yeah, is it not? Every teacher teaches you that in a triangle, if you add all 3 angles, sum is always 180 degrees. Teacher stops there. Nobody questions him. Is it always true? And he also never tells that no, this is not always true. This is the problem with our teaching. Sum of 3 sides of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees is subjected to one condition. If that condition is not satisfied, that statement is not true. But nobody tells us. We are only taught. And you also, I'm sure, if you have your son and your daughter going to 5th class or 6th class or 8th class and studying geometry, he also must be studying that sum of 3 sides of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. But it has a limitation. It is true only when the triangle is drawn on a plain paper. If triangle is not drawn on a plain paper, if the triangle is drawn on a sphere, for example, on a earth, if you take 3 points on a earth or any sphere for that matter, 3 points and join, sum will not be 180 degrees. It means it is not true. You tell in the primary school 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Is it always true? And there is a joke. A teacher knew that the student has got 2, let us say, oranges in his pocket. The teacher knew that student has brought 2 oranges for his in tiffin box. So teacher gave him 2 oranges and said, "How many oranges you have?" He said, 5. Are you brought 2 oranges in tiffin box. I gave you 2. How many you have? Student again said, 5. He said, why? He said, I already have 1 more orange in my pocket. And this is, of course, a joke. But what I want to say, our statements are subjected to all facts and figures around. They are not universal truth. They are not universal truth. But we don't teach like that. We don't teach. We don't allow students. We don't allow students to
आता हे काय
question.
करू सरांचं हे कट करायचं डिलीट करा डिलीट मारा खालचं हे मी मारू डिलीट एक राहू द्या चांगली हे सेलिब्रेट आहे सर हे
Participant, mute your mouth. Redmi Note 10.
काय केलं
Participant, mute your mic. Yes, sir. They have muted.
Sir, you can unmute themselves.
Okay, now okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
You're on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Please, keep your audio only when I ask questions, you can do it. Okay? So this is the story about thing. Now, let me tell you something related with ethics. Something related with ethics, because ethics are more important as a teacher. It is not, it is subject teaching, but morality. See, in fact, you have to bring a good human being out of that boy or girl. That is the education. Education is not teaching science or arts or poem or philosophy. That is one part of the thing. He can learn also. Can you believe, let me tell you, can you believe that you learn without teaching? A best example, when all of you remember how you learned to ride a bicycle. How you learn to ride a bicycle. Just try to recollect. Somebody was holding, then giving support to you. Slowly you try on your own. You knew how to put a balance. With those 2 wheels, how they get balanced on a road. Remember, if you want to ride a bicycle, you have supposed to know all 3 laws of Newton. Newton's 3 laws of motion. There are famous 3 laws of motion. You should know what is centrifugal force. You should know what is centripetal force. You should know what is momentum. You should know how the balancing is done. You should know what is friction. All these things are part of our education at BSc level or MSc level. But without knowing anything about Newton's laws, without knowing anything about a force, friction, centrifugal force, centripetal force, momentum, you learn a bicycle at the age of 5 or 6. No, and there is a lot of mathematics. In fact, when you turn a bicycle, how much you should bend, at what speed you should bend, because that's depending on the speed, your bicycle will turn that angle. If that is not proper, it is 1 degree this way or that way, you will fall. But you don't fall. You follow all that mathematics, all that science, which you may not learn, but only learn if you do your physics or chemistry, science or mathematics at your BSc or MSc level. It means it is not required. A person who is repairing your scooter, that cleaning spark plug or finding a fault, he is not at all a mechanical engineer. He does not know anything about automobile engineering. But he does it. Experience, work experience. You don't need an equation. You don't need a mathematics. You don't need a formula. Still you do it. So please remember, learning is totally different and teaching. Therefore, the teaching philosophy is very important. Now we were talking about ethics. I'll tell you a story. When I was, after doing my MTech, I became a lecturer in the same IIT. You know, that time PhD was not an essential qualification to become a lecturer. So after MTech, after with 1 or 2 years experience, or even directly after MTech also, you could become a lecturer. So I became a lecturer in the IIT after the. In our IIT at that time, there was a postgraduate course for army officers. That is all working people from Army, Navy, and Air Force. They used to come for a postgraduate course. And I remember when I joined as a lecturer, you know, young lecturer, that time, you know, 26, 27 year age. My all students were captain, squadron leader, naval officer. You know, they were aged and experienced also. Of course, experienced in that field, but Army or Ministry of Defense sponsored them for that postgraduate course in different IITs. And that time there was a collaboration between IIT and the Ministry of Defense. So they came. So my students were there. What happened? And they used to be, I tell you, same story. First semester, these students used to be working very hard. Because they were finding it very difficult to digest, because there was no difference as far as quality of syllabus goes. Syllabus is same for young student, young IIT student, and these fellows. These fellows are, you know, they are B or even they are diploma holders. They are working in army, captain, major, squadron leader. But they have experience on the field. But here there is a lot of mathematics, lot of formula, lot of equations. So they used to find difficult. But they were very good, cooperative, and we used to be very friendly also. What happened? One of these person who was a very young naval officer, unfortunately or fortunately, he was very cunning fellow. I mean, he was not serious about at all studies. And he was attached to me for second year project work, thesis work. In IIT, whole second year MTech is a thesis, whole year. First year, all coursework, second year, full project work, thesis. This fellow came to me for this. Now, I observed him in the first year. In class or in the laboratory, he was very naughty, not doing anything, not serious. Even in the laboratory, he was not interested. All will come, do something, go. Neglected. I mean, neglected type of friend. Or mostly he got C grades, C or C plus. Unfortunately, he came to me for thesis work. I told him on the very first day that if you do not do proper work, which is required for the degree of MTech, I will not sign your thesis. I told him. Oh, he said, yes, yes, yes. And still, same story repeated in the second. He used to come, copy something from this journal, this paper, that paper, show that he has done. I always used to ask. My question used to be, what you have done? Have you derived any formula? Have you computed anything? Show me one graph one equation which you say, I have done it. No, this is from the. It happened throughout the year. Fortunately or unfortunately, I kept the record of his whole progress, and I used to inform head of the department that time that this person work is not satisfactory, he is not serious, he is not coming, by etc. So 2-3 written complaints I gave to the head of the department. They were in writing. Still this fellow. Now whole year over. Now this fellow comes with a thesis. Yes, thesis is ready. I said, what is your work? You are copying from here and there. You say, I am not going to sign his thesis. And now that became big issue in the department. Please remember, I was a young lecturer with hardly 2 years experience. I was doing my PhD with my guru, Professor Das, that time. I mean, as a lecturer itself, I was doing my PhD. Professor Das, about whom I talked, he was my guru. He was also his teacher. He also knew that this fellow is like that. Now this became a topic of discussion in the department. I said, I'm not going to sign his thesis. Then that matter went to the department. Even my teacher, that is Professor Das, warned me, Pandharipande, don't do it. Don't stop that fellow because he is a naval officer. If this mark of failure goes to his headquarters, his career will be affected. His job will be affected. If he goes without a degree, he won't get promotion. But I asked Professor Das, sir, he has not done anything. How do I sign? Then do you know? Actually, I should not have dared. But I said to Professor, my guru, sir, I give you liberty. I will withdraw myself as a guide. You can sign his thesis. I don't mind. I will give no objection. And you can sign it. Will you sign? He said, no, I will not sign. Then why are you asking me to sign? Remember, in the history of IIT, till that time, this person was the first person whose degree was withheld. I was hardly 28-year-old lecturer. Even some of other teachers also, cautioned me, warned me that this matter is going to Senate. The Senate may call you. They may question you. I said, no problem. Let them call. I will handle. I asked my guru, because there was a story. When I was doing MTech with Professor Das, he was very strict with me. Do this, do that, publish this thing, that thing. Very strict. Believe it or not, he asked me to write my MTech thesis 13 times, 13. 13 times. Every time I could go with a draft, change this. Ultimately, what happened? I observed that final draft, which Professor Das has approved, was nothing but the first draft. The first draft I wrote, same thing approved. Then I found that my first draft he has approved, and in spite of that, he was asking me to write 12 times or 13 times, again and again. I got irritated at that time. As I am textual, I went to him, to Professor Das. Sir, you have asked me to write 13 times, but are you aware that the draft which you have approved is the first draft which I wrote? He said, yes, I know. Pandharipande, I know that I have approved your first draft only. Then why did you ask me to write 12 times? I again cannot forget his sentence. He said, if I do not ask you to write 12 times, how will you know what is good thesis and what is bad thesis? what is good writing, what is bad writing. This is teacher. This is sincerity. And of course, the quality of the thesis was such that it led, even at the MTech level itself, it was, the whole work was published at that time. But you see, this is the teacher. And say, of course, same teacher after 2 years was asking me that you signed that scholar leader thesis because otherwise he will lose his job. But I stopped it. And please remember, that was the first student who was detained in IIT. Otherwise, do you know one thing? You may be surprised. Failing in IIT is very difficult. You cannot fail in IIT. Very difficult. Admission is difficult. Passing is very easy. You do whatever teacher is telling and appear for exam. Even if paper is not good, because it is a relative marking. Teacher there used to, they will call you in their room. In front of you, they examine your answer script, ban you left and right. Our teacher used to call us in their room. In front of us, they will show us the answer script, turn the pages, find the mistakes, and say, you are useless, you are like this, just silly mistakes you are committing. And when you come out, you feel that gone. You will get C or C plus because of his banging, the way in which they are banging. But we used to get B plus or A. It was a relative grading. How you perform compared to others. It was a relative grading. So all this new education policy, grading, credit, it's all old. There is absolutely nothing new. Nothing new. Grade point average, relative marking. Everything is, even you, if I tell you how the IIT entrance exam ranking is done, you will be surprised. In fact, I tell you, in YouTube, there is a story, there is a lecture by Professor H.C. Verma. Professor H.C. Verma is a very good teacher of physics in IIT. I think those who are physics teachers here, I'm sure they must be knowing his name, Professor H.C. Verma. So he's a very good teacher. He has introduced a new concept. What is that concept? Bring laboratory to the classroom. Bring laboratory, this is of course for science or engineering or that subject. Bring laboratory to the classroom and take theory class in the laboratory. Then only you can understand the concept. Simply writing on the blackboard, you won't understand anything. Because you write equation now and ask them to do experiment after 15 days. Or first ask them to do experiment and then teach the theory. There is no correlation. If there is a correlation between theory and practical, then obviously it is good. Therefore, so Professor H.C. Sharma has told a story that when he retired, in that year, out of 400 students, the minimum 98 students failed. Out of 400 students, 98 students failed. And those who passed, do you know what was the minimum marks? You will be surprised. I am not joking. He is telling, it is available on YouTube. He is telling openly, minimum marks were 27, highest marks, 27 out of 400 something. Out of 400 something, a person with 27 got passed. So, and he is questioning if that you think that IIT, so many intelligent, entrance test, this test, that test, but real thing they are not able to do. Once you say complicated, you lose because you are only taught rectification, mugging. You are not taught to think. You are only taught that if you want to go from A to B, the shortest distance is always a straight line, joining A and B. Is it not? When you want to go from one place to another place, somebody's house, we always tell no, which route is shortest. You will ask address. Then he will say, you can come this way, you can come that way, but this route is shortest. And that shortest route is, of course, based on as far as mathematics is concerned, if your A is the destination, B is another destination. If you join A and B by a straight line, that distance is the shortest distance. That everybody is a logical. You draw on a paper 2 lines, shortest distance is always a straight line. Do you know that same principle is used even today in Uber taxi? Same principle is used. When you use Uber taxi to go from destination A to B, the map which comes to the driver or on your Google map is based on this principle. But there is one but. There is one but. What is that but? When you sit in the taxi, driver fellow does not go by that route sometimes. He takes another route. He doesn't go by that route, which is supposed to be shortest. He goes by another route. Now you ask him, why are you going by another route? He says, sir, on that route, there is a lot of traffic, or on that route, there are a lot of signals. Therefore, it takes time. If I go by this route, we will go fast. What does it mean? The simplest solution is not always the correct solution. Do you teach this? No. We teach only conventional things. We teach only the things which are given in the textbook. And we only give marks 10 out of 10 only when he writes whatever is given in the text. Suppose he thinks differently. Are you giving him marks? Still, no. You ask him, अरे textbook में ये लिखा है. Why did you write like this? अरे, suppose he is using brain. That is what is how science or engineering develops. Shortest route is not always convenient. Sometimes, these flyovers, etc., are built. Why this sometimes the flyovers, as far as kilometers are concerned, sometimes they may be, in distance-wise, they may be more by 2-3 kilometers. But there is no traffic, no signal. Straight away, you are going with a speed of 70, 80. This means conventional solution, conventional method is not the only method. We don't teach this in education. This is how it is there. So I will take a small break here. And before we go for a tea break of 10 minutes, if you have any questions on what I have talked about, again, I'm telling you, I am not claiming that whatever I say is the final word. I am not claiming whatever I say, you must agree. No, you can have different views. I totally respect that also, that liberty, that freedom of thought, everything I respect. But if you want to share on whatever I have told so far about teacher and teaching, ethics, morality, etc., you are free to discuss for 10 minutes. We'll discuss for 10 minutes, free discussion, and then break for a tea break. Yes.
Participants, if you have question, you can unmute and ask to the Honorable
Please.
Professor
Let us
Veer.
let us have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, anything. You please.
आपके कोई प्रश्न है आप पूछ सकते हो. लैंग्वेज इज नॉट अ बैरियर इन हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मराठी,
any language you can ask me. Hindi, Marathi, any language, not other language. Hindi, Marathi, English.
Yes.
Anything.
कोई आपके प्रश्न
And
है
any
तो आप
subject,
पूछ.
not related to this also. Anything. You want about autonomy, you want about NEP, any question. Anything related with education. Yes.
Yes, sir. So, how would you rate autonomy, like in the field of education system? Like how, since you mentioned that engineering is all
I
about
know.
understanding cause and effect.
What is your tell me your specific question about autonomy.
Yeah. So, no. How does it impact the whole education, delivery quality, basically?
Okay.
So, अगर कोई इंस्टीट्यूट या वो ऑटोनॉमस है तो वो बेटर है या
See, one thing is that, okay, I'll answer. One thing is that how you use autonomy, it depends on.
So you're
Suppose
saying
what-
implementation is more important.
See, implementation के important है. आप कैसे implement करते हैं? Why autonomy is required? Because in university system, you know, they change the syllabus every 4 years, 5 years. Their examination
Right.
pattern, because they cannot change for one class or thing. Thousands and
Right.
lakhs of students are there. So they have to maintain uniformity. They have to maintain same standard for all universities. Whereas if the autonomy is there, it is a small cluster of your own class. In fact, let me tell you, in autonomy, teacher is a king of his class. He can evaluate the student. He can utilize a autonomy or a freedom to the extent that he will decide how to examine, what type of questions to be asked, what type of, suppose he feels that I want to teach a new chapter, which is very important. Yes, in that semester he can teach that chapter. That freedom here, of course, with some formality of informing head of the department or dean and academic section, etc. For example,
some set protocols.
For example, even examination. Suppose as a teacher, you are in the which field? What is your subject?
Yeah, so technology and management.
No, technology. Which subject? Which branch?
Computer
What?
science.
Okay, computer
Basically,
science.
I'm a PhD scholar. Yeah.
Okay, doesn't matter. Computer science. Now you know engineering aspect. Suppose teacher says, I don't want to take 3 hours examination. You know, that normal 8 questions, solve any 5, etc. 3 hours, whole syllabus. No. I want to take half an hour Viva with each student. Thorough Viva.
Right.
And to have transparency, I will have I will be there. I will invite one more senior professor from my department. I can also involve some teacher from other college to have transparency. I will video record whole Viva so that students cannot, tomorrow claim that I answered all questions, but I did not get good mark. Whole
Viva
will be recorded and I will grade them A, B, C, etc. That freedom you can take in autonomy. You can take in autonomy that freedom. Even type of the questions. Generally, what are you doing now? Set 8 questions, solve 5 out of 8. Is it not? Some short questions, some 8 questions. But hardly there are questions which are design oriented, which are analysis, because you are an engineering student or a science student. So question should be analytical, analysis, design. Question should start, analyze, design, synthesize. Is it not? Engineering means analyze, synthesize, design. That is not there. Our questions are describe, explain, define. No, this is not an essay. Engineering is not an essay writing. So this type of, you can say, I am asking you, go to the laboratory and do this experiment for 3 hours. Totally new. Do this project. I will give you marks. That autonomy comes with responsibility. Autonomy means responsibility, accountability. Not autonomy is not giving 90 out of 100 marks to all students. Autonomy is not giving 50 out of 50 in practicals. Autonomy is not giving 50 out of 50 in Viva. Unfortunately, faculty and colleges are misusing autonomy for this purpose. Giving more marks, declaring good results. What is the point in declaring good results? Is it not? Just now I told you.
Totally agree, sir. Yes.
Just now I told you that teacher taught us only
Yes.
one chapter, but he taught that one chapter in such a fashion that we were able to solve some questions from other chapters also. So, innovation, I'll give you another example. Generally, you say true or false, is it not? There is one question. We give some statements. Am I correct?
Right.
And you say true or false. Now, in this, what can happen? Even if it doesn't know answer, he will mark true, false, something. Is it not? And by the way of probability, he may get 5 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. Is it not? By fluke also. Same thing happens with MCQ. Multiple choice. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. He can mark all A's, he can mark all D's. Still he will pass by luck. There is understanding. So teacher has to see that my question paper should be such that student has to think. Student has to think. So if this question of true or false is there, I will modify it like this. I will not say state true or false. No, I will say, listen very carefully. I will say state true or false. If the statement is false, correct it. Third, justify the correct statement. You understand? State true or false. If the statement
Right.
is false, correct it. And justify the correct statement. Means even if the statement is correct, given statement is correct, you have to justify it. This type of question will let you know whether the real student has really understood or not. Otherwise, he will say true, without understanding and get some mark. But if this question is reframed, he can't do it. So teacher has a liberty. That is called autonomy. You can mix. You can take Viva, you can take group exercises, group
Yeah,
projects.
got an answer, sir. Yeah.
Group projects.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So basically, you're trying to say that autonomy comes with responsibility,
Autonomy
so
is
with
autonomy
sincerity
is
and serious implementation
even
only.
in teaching there is an autonomy. Why should you teach everything? You said student. Every Saturday, one student will take a tutorial class.
Right.
I will teach for 3 hours. 4th hour, every student will come. 2, 3 students will come with the problems and they will solve the problems on the board. See, you are involving the class in the learning process. It is not a one-way. Teaching is not a one-way traffic. It is a two-way traffic. You have to use autonomy in this fashion. Liberty for this purpose. So autonomy will be everything. What you teach, how you evaluate. For everything there is an autonomy. See, there is a custom. There is an understanding that PhD thesis means 200, 300 pages. 5 kilo, 10 kilo thesis. Very good thesis. No, I can have 2 research papers in a very standard international journal. I will staple it and produce it as a thesis. What is wrong? Why should I write 200 pages? Blah, blah, blah. Just 2 research papers in international journals, staple it and submit it. It happens in foreign universities. They don't weight the degree or work by volume. Quantity is important. Quality is important. Yes. Any other question?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for a detailed answer. Yeah.
Any other question? Any other question? You have?
Sir.
Yes. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
There are 100 participants, and if they are sitting only idle, this is
Sir,
not a
sir.
profession.
Hello. Sir, good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yes.
Myself, Dr. Vilas Thakre, and my question is about the financial autonomy.
Huh?
Financial autonomy.
हाँ,
अगर ऑटोनॉमस कॉलेजेस को अगर गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया कि आपको अभी फाइनेंशियल ऑटोनॉमी लेनी है, तो उस टाइम क्या कर सकते हैं हम?
but they have not given financial autonomy.
इन फ्यूचर अगर उन्होंने प्लान किया कि जो कॉलेज ऑटोनॉमस है उनको फाइनेंशियल
See,
ऑटोनॉमी लेनी
let me tell you, these questions are all debatable.
Yes.
Because in the last 10 years, last 20
This is
to
a
30 years,
hypothetical question.
because of privatization of education, education has become a business, frankly speaking.
Yes.
Is it not? Education has become a business. Now that person says that if government is not giving me, I have to give salary in lakhs to
Yes.
people. Then I have to, where from the salary will come? I have to ask to student only, no? Now you tell me, your son or a daughter, why are you admitting in the convent school with 2 lakhs rupees? For UKG, for class 1,
sir.
you are giving 2 lakhs.
Yes, sir.
Whereas
Definitely.
the same education, you can get it in 30 rupees in government school. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
You want show, global international school,
Yes.
bus, air condition, computer, very nicely dressed, good gathering, good environment, acres of lands, sports, tours, foreign tours. Nowadays, foreign tours have come. So nothing comes without money. So it is a debatable how much financial autonomy should be given. And government is restricting. If people are not following, what can government do? See, management seats, they are purchased, no? Management seats are sold. Now, medical colleges, crores of rupees. But if you want a good hospital, if you want a good environment, if you want a good doctor to teach you, they also said they require that. See, you want a good teacher, you want a good laboratory, you want a good environment also. Then nothing comes without money. So it is a debatable. That financial autonomy is a debatable.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Sir, I have a question.
Please.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, just now
Tell me
mentioned-
your branch.
I am an architect, sir.
Okay.
I teach architecture.
Okay.
And I have worked for 20 years, and after that I came into teaching. So I have a very important question which is related to your deliberations just now. You mentioned that a PhD is not necessary to become a good teacher.
What is
So
that?
one-
PhD.
PhD is not mandatory to become a good
Oh
teacher.
no, according to me, no.
Yes. So, sir, we have so many of these branches like medicine, fine arts, journalism, architecture, all of these. Nowadays, we find people are simply doing graduation, post-graduation, maybe working 1 year, then enrolling for PhD and coming into teaching. Where is the field experience, sir? How will these people become good teachers?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you now. See, PhD does not give you a good teaching quality. Absolutely no. See,
Yes, sir. But
let me
then
tell
why we have made it mandatory, sir? Earlier, it was not
let
mandatory.
me,
but-
okay,
Yes.
that answer, that question I will answer it. See,
Yes, sir.
what happened in good old days, first of all, something has to be there to filter
Sure,
out.
sir.
So,
Sure, sir.
qualification. When they
So
found
we
out,
have MTech. We have MTech.
yes, MTech is there or post-graduation is there. All
Yes.
our old, see, as a matter of fact, I became a lecturer with MTech only. See, fresh, in our time, fresh MTech was becoming a lecturer.
Yes.
In computer science, PhD was not at all required till many years because
Yes, sir. In
they
architecture
were not
also.
available. PhDs in computer science were not available. And I gave you just an example also that a person who doesn't have any background on paper in computer science became head of the department of computer science because of his experience.
Yes.
Right? So there are many PhDs who are absolutely useless as a teacher. Yes, I am making this statement because there are two things. You should love your work, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
there are, I mean, either first you should get a work as a career which you love,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
you have to love that work.
Yes.
That doesn't happen in teaching. In teaching, a person with TINA, TINA, there is no alternative. That fellow comes as a teacher. It's the fact. First he
This is
tries
the fact, sir.
as an architecture. He will try some big architecture firm or own business. This way, that way, that way. Same engineer, IT. If he does not get anywhere, he comes as a teacher. So we are okay. Okay, you have come as a teacher, fine. But at least now love your job. Develop teaching quality. Do hard work. At least that you can do. Many people are not doing that also. And therefore, in Marathi, they say, patya takne. Like that, past time. Come, say something for 1 hour, go. Whether the student understand, he doesn't understand. So, if you ask me, and actually, this new government has started, madam,
Yes, sir.
this new government has started this professor of practice now.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that
We
is a
have
very
that
good,
in architecture. We
that
have
is,
from beginning.
yeah, according to me, that is a very good approach. That a person who has worked in the field for 10 years,
Yes.
15 years, right? Suppose a builder, suppose I am a civil engineer,
Yes.
I am a
Yes.
builder. I have built
Yes.
many apartments, rest houses, hotels, etc. I can be a good teacher
Exactly, sir.
than a B civil engineer or a ME civil engineer because I know how to design apartment, how to design a complex, how to design a row house, how to design a hotel. Those experience, he comes with an experience. He can give a lot of good projects, which a regular person doesn't can do.
But sir, my question is linked to another question. when the appraisal system starts, then we are only focusing whatever we have taught the students, that is pushed aside and given a very small weightage, and only those who have been publishing papers.
I totally
So
agree
the
with you.
faculty is only focused
I
towards their
totally
self-promotion.
all that API score, etc., etc., etc. They are all manipulated. Uh, uh, and you know, why
Sir,
manipulated? Even the papers are being fabricated. Research papers are fabricated. Now there is a business has started. You pay some money,
yes,
your paper gets tomorrow. Today you write a paper, tomorrow it is published.
yes,
No editing, no review, nothing.
no review.
In a small village, there will be an international conference. A
But-
small village, there will be an international conference. One person comes from neighboring country, and then one person, foreigner, comes from a neighboring country. It becomes an international conference. You send, you
Yes.
talk there for
So,
10,
but sir,
30 minutes.
the management is giving the marks
That
for
is why
that.
I'm telling you.
And management is forced by, because they are controlled by UGC
No,
and
for
certain
all
norms.
of you, I have
Yes.
a beautiful idea.
Yes, sir.
I have a beautiful idea. I call it as a mobile teacher.
Okay, sir.
Mobile teacher. Do you know what it is? That suppose
Please tell me.
I am a good in one subject. Okay.
Yes.
I am very good teacher in one subject. So, and there are 3-4 college let us say engineering we will talk about. So, 4 engineering colleges in a span of 5 kilometers.
Yes.
That is possible nowadays in city. It is there. What I
Yes.
will do, all these 5 colleges will hire me as a teacher for that subject. So what I will do, Monday and Tuesday I'll go, I mean, depending on this thing, no? And I'll
Yes.
teach the same subject everywhere. There will be a package which I will get, that I have to teach a subject, I have to take their examination, I have to give the assignment. Means I have to do
Okay.
every work related to that topic. Right? And that college will not give me monthly salary. They will give
Okay.
me a package at the end
Fixed
of
package.
semester.
Okay.
At the end of semester. Right? But I have to do everything. Valuation and maybe a junior teacher from that college will be attached to me to sit in my class, so that he will also gain. You know,
Yes.
that junior teacher will get trained and he will take attendance, etc., etc.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that
Yes.
internal affair,
This is-
that fellow
Yes.
will be a
The
liaison
administrative
administrative work,
works.
attendance, sessional marks, he will do. Now, advantage. College gets a teacher at low cost.
Yes.
See, if you take a monthly basis, even for 11 months contract teacher, you have to pay for 11 months.
Yes.
That salary will be more.
Yes.
So, and this fellow gets remuneration from 4 colleges. So his earning is in a month is more. He does not have to travel. It is only within 4-5 kilometers. Students are getting a good teacher. Students are getting a good teacher instead of this thing. So such innovative ideas must come in the mind of so-called autonomy. This
Yes,
autonomy,
sir,
the fellows who are autonomous colleges or private colleges should start this. I have pushed this idea to many fellows that do this, mobile teacher. Identify a good teacher or not. Why good teacher? From your, suppose in college A, there is a good teacher. Apart from his own college, let him teach in other colleges also. Of course, we have to find out a way that
the
give and take
guideline
business.
has to be framed by
Guidelines
UGC
have to be
only.
there. And of course, without deteriorating quality, without deteriorating standards, you can do it. It is possible, feasible.
Yes.
I have seen in many cities, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Aurangabad, Nagpur, you know, it is possible because many colleges are clustered within 5 kilometers.
Yes.
You can do it. So mobile teacher.
Thank you, sir.
And PhD not required.
Yes,
But PhD, one thing. But then people will ask me, why PhD? PhD tells you discipline. PhD
yes.
teaches you
So they have
forcefully reading.
multiple advantages.
No,
multiple
forceful
advantages.
reading.
Yes.
State
yes.
of the art. What is happening in 25? What is happening in 24?
Sure.
So that update. Otherwise,
That is
without
necessary.
PhD, you won't read.
Yes. Yes.
You won't
That is also
see.
there.
You are a computer science. No, you are
No, architect.
architect. In computer science, there is a law called Moore's law. 30 years 30 years back, this Moore's law was taught. No, I am doubtful whether anybody who is teaching now knows that Moore's law has already saturated in, I think, 2020 or 2010. But they may be teaching. Because of that Moore's law, you are getting
Yes.
smaller and smaller gadgets.
Yes.
Earlier, computer was this big, this heavy. Now
Yes.
it is becoming smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. Your
Yes.
weight of your mobile is becoming smaller and smaller.
Yes.
Thinner and thinner. Laptop is becoming thinner and thinner. It is because of that Moore's law. But now that it has reached its limitation, does anybody knows it? That it has leaked or it has got saturated. So if you are doing PhD, you will know it.
But doing PhD is different. That is for self-improvement,
Reading.
contributing knowledge.
PhD is
Yes.
forcing you to read. Literature survey.
Yes.
PhD
Yes.
means literature survey.
Yes, you have to
First
study.
you do literature survey. The same thing, in fact, you should do for teaching also.
That we have to do. If we have to teach, we
In
have to
teaching
keep
also you have
abreast
to do
with.
innovation. Now, since you
Yes.
have taken out a very important topic, I mean, very this thing. Let me tell you a small story and we'll break it for tea. See, I was teaching a particular problem for years together by one method which is given in the textbook. I was year and year, I was solving this problem with the same method in class. One day, one student, after my class is over, came to me and told me that you have taken 20-25 steps, half an hour to solve the problem. But I used different method and got the answer in 3 steps. Got the answer in 3. So I found out. And I found, yes, he was correct. He was correct. See, students taught me that same problem which I was teaching for 10 to 15 years by a textbook method, which was a lengthy thing, was solved within 3 steps, within 5 minutes by that boy. And I'm very proud to say that boy was nobody else than my own son.
Wow.
He was my son. He was my student in the class. Unfortunately or fortunately, I had to teach my son because he got admitted in our own department. Now, do you know the result? Today, the same person has got 200 patents.
Wow.
He is much above his father.
So
He is
that
much
is your
above his father.
achievement. That is your
Much
achievement.
above me. I am not known. He is known throughout the world at the age of 40. I am not known. I am known only in India. He is known throughout the world. And that fellow taught me. That fellow taught me. So you don't know. Innovations you have to accept. Okay, break for
Thank you,
10
sir.
minutes.
Thank you.
We are exactly meeting after 10 minutes.
Yes, sir, after 10 minutes. And I would request all the participants to gather some questions to be asked to the resource person.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Sir, to break, I think. He said he will be joining in some time.
रापे सर, हेलो।
हाँ बोला की shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So welcome back again. Now I'll just tell you one or two stories with which are from the administrative point of view as a teacher, and then we'll come back with again new education policy, autonomy, etc., etc. Again, let me tell you through stories because stories are interesting. True stories give you a lesson. Okay. Now, somebody just now asked me about financial autonomy. That when these colleges will become autonomous, use or misuse of finance, transparency in. See, there are two things difficult, two different aspects of autonomy: academic discipline, financial discipline. Both are important. Now, regarding the financial discipline, let me tell you a very good story. This story is about 1988, 87, 88. That time I shifted from IIT to Usmania University and I became a professor there. And within 2 years of my joining Usmania, which was a new place to me, Usmania Engineering College, I was asked to take the headship. I mean, Vice Chancellor literally forced me to become head of the department, in spite of the fact that there were at least 5 to 6 senior professors, very senior to me, in the department. In spite of that, so I was a bit worried whether I will be able to handle because I did not have the administrative experience. But these 5, 6 people, mostly who were Telugus, they were very cooperative. Let me tell you, one thing I can admit that wherever I went, my colleagues, senior, junior, I mean, Bengali professors at IIT and Telugu professors at Usmania University, they were extremely good, very good. So when I became head of the department, once what happened, our department had some traditions. And one of the tradition was annually some industries used to sponsor gold medals to top students, toppers. Toppers in first year, toppers in second year. And every year they used to give some money and we used to have some award function and this. But problem with that, it was not a regular affair. We had to go there, ask them, and then they will give money. And that type of arrangement was there, but it was a tradition. So when I became the head of the department, my very senior professor told me that Pandharipande, we have this award function is a very annual thing, and unless we visit these industries, this money will not come. Because some of these people, senior people, they give you very good advice. He said, you write a letter, but that letter will go from senior to junior, junior to there, and this, instead of that, if we make a visit to these industries, it will be more effective. So I agree. So he told me that you book a taxi. You book a taxi for a whole day, and we will go. Two of us will go to these 4 or 5 industries and come back. I was a new person, so I didn't know taxi hiring means it needs a budget. So I asked that accountant. In department there was one accountant, so he was looking after stores, etc. That book a taxi, whole day taxi for 2 hours. He came and told me, sir, there is no budget for transport. You know, every department has some budget, and there are heads, budget heads are there. You can spend money only according to the head. You cannot, if this money you cannot do, if it is laboratory money, you cannot use for transport. If it is for furniture, you cannot use for something. So you have to spend money according to the budget head. So he told me there is no money, I mean, budget head for transport or taxi. So I went to the senior professor. Sir, he says there is no budget and how to do. Then he said, don't worry. You book a taxi, ask him to book a taxi. I will answer your question in the evening. I will answer your question in the evening, he said. I said, okay, your senior professor, experienced professor is telling. So I said, yes. We booked the taxi, we went on. We visited 5, 6 industries, had a very good discussion. Some of them, nearly 80% of them, gave the check immediately. You know, every year they used to give, so immediately their boss or a director or a CEO, executive officer, immediately I got it. So by the time we came in the evening, we already had at that time 10,000 rupees in terms of check, and some 4,000-5,000 checks were expected by within 15 days. Then he told me, Pandharipande, now you see, you got these 8,000 and 10,000 rupees within a day. University does not have any control on this. It is our departmental money. You can spend that taxi fare from here. Problem was solved. Nobody, yes, when you settle this account, we are going to write that taxi fare, etc. But, and then one sentence he spoke, which I cannot forget. One advice or sentence he spoke, which I cannot forget. And all of you who sometimes or other, when you have to deal with finance, as a matter of fact, that helped me when I became a vice chancellor, when I had to handle crores of rupees. I tell you, financially budgeting, this thing, etc. I'm not very smart or expert or very particular about rules, regulations, etc. Yes, I am honest, but to handle money, you should know what is right and what is wrong. So those rules, regulations, I'm not familiar. So so he spoke a very good sentence. This senior professor told me, Pandharipande, remember one thing. Any field, anywhere, if you are not spending money for your selfish purpose, your own benefits, never bother about audit. Never bother about accountant. As a professor, you are a right man to decide that accountant or an auditor does not know what is required for student, what is required in the department, what is required for education. He will only go by rules and bylaws and laws, etc. Yes. But while taking liberty, while taking autonomy, you should not do it for selfish purpose. See, I should not book a taxi for my family trip. That is not advisable. But for departmental, you can find some way, you can justify, etc., etc. Same thing is true also if you are entitled to travel by first class, but if you go by air, and justify that because of this reason, I had to go by air. No problem. You must be honest. So this is one lesson which I have learned from that senior professor. A very good lesson, I think. So these are the important issues which I wanted to impress upon you. Now, people also talk about new education policy. They are also afraid of AI, so-called artificial intelligence, coming into the way of learning. Students copying, students doing assignments from the. Was it not there earlier? Yes, it was there. In our time in engineering, those who are engineering or science, all laboratory journals, they are copied. Hardly few students are sincere who write their own things. My question would be, why ask students to do such laborious things which they don't like? In fact, when I was a teacher and I was taking the laboratory, I asked the student, writing laboratory practical journal is your headache. I am not interested in your writing journal. For your own purpose, you write. What I am interested in, do the experiment, show me the result, and prove that you have understood the concept. You have understood how to do the experiment. You have to understood how that what that experiment is telling you. As long as that you convince me, I will give you marks. I am not going to check your journal, whether you have done it. Whether you copy or don't copy, it is your own headache. It is your own headache. Because we know all assignments. Even I never gave any assignment because I know it is a waste of time in checking those assignments, because one or two people do it and the rest of them copy. So it is a waste of time for them. It is a waste of time for a teacher to do that exercise of giving marks. So I never do it. I had a totally different way of giving these sessional marks. This is how autonomy comes. What I used to do, I will used to conduct, our generally syllabus is divided in 4 units or 5 units. So I will say after completing every unit, next Saturday there will be a test. Okay, it was decided, told at the beginning of the semester. Then what you do, every student will come prepared with 4 questions. He will also prepare the solutions for that question also. It means every student will prepare a question paper of 4 questions. He will also prepare a solution and keep it ready in his house. They bring the question paper on that day of test. I collect all those question paper from those, let us say 50 students. So how many questions we have? 50 into 4, 200 questions. Even if I assume that some questions are repeated or copied, still 150. Assuming that 50 are copied, still 150 different questions are there. Then on that day, I will collect those question papers, shuffle it like cards, and give this question to him, etc., and ask them to write the test. It means they are writing the test based on the question paper set by their own colleagues. And after the test is over, again, same fellow, they will give that answer script to the same fellow who has set the paper, and that fellow will correct it. I will not correct it. That fellow will correct it because he has set the paper, he has got the solution also. And then I used to form a committee of 3 or 4 students. These students will go through all this valuation process, question paper standards, and if there are any differences or any queries, doubts, they must solve that issue amongst themselves with the help of these 4 committee members. And once they are satisfied, no complaints, nothing, these 4 students will give me final marks. That's all. Over. Sectional with no assignment, nothing. Students used to enjoy this. because they are setting the paper, they are examining the paper, and at the end of semester, on every unit, they have got a question bank of 50 into 4, one test, into let us say 4 tests, 800. 800 questions and answers already are available in the question bank with them in a class. Exam preparation is over. And believe me, students used to value the paper more strictly than me. I have observed. They were more strict as far as evaluation is concerned. Do you know why? Others should not get more marks than me. So they were very, very particular. Very, I mean, as a teacher, I may be liberal, but they were not liberal. So when you give the authority, when you give the responsibility, they become accountable. And the whole process was being enjoyed. There was no copying, nothing. You will not believe. Even after giving that question paper and distributing thing, I used to leave. Whether you copy or don't copy, it is your headache. I used to leave the class. So without vigilation also, at least 80 to 90% there was honesty. Yes, maybe 10% students were copying or they are doing misusing, etc. It is, you are not for that 10%. They will not change. You are for 80%. You have to consider what benefits 80%. Those 10%, it doesn't matter. If they improve, they will improve. If they don't improve, it is their headache. So this is one thing, that how to make even evaluation process, something innovative thing. See what we are doing, you come to the class at 10 o'clock, you keep your back on their side and keep on writing on the blackboard from 10 to 11. When the bell rings, you go. You don't know, there is no interaction. Hardly, some of you may be doing, I don't know. But otherwise, 90% teacher keep on talking. They don't know whether he has understood. They don't give you an example. See, you learn by example. You learn by example. And so-called interdisciplinary, etc. See, it is not a propriety. Engineering is not a propriety of some so-called intelligent student. And arts is for, no, arts is equally important. Understanding a poem of Grace in Marathi or Mahadevi Verma in Hindi is equally difficult in solving the. Just read a poem of Grace in Marathi. You can't understand. It's very difficult to understand. People are still trying what he has wrote. See, hardly what poem? Poem is hardly 10 lines, 12 lines. But that poem will tell you whole philosophy. Same thing is about our saints. Whatever they write, saints, about, what we call Ovi, Abhanga, etc. In those 4 lines, great philosophy is written. It is like a theorem. 4 lines of an Abhanga, or that Ovi we call, is like a theorem. And there are 100 interpretations of the same 4 lines. 100 interpretations. That is why, for same Bhagavad Gita, how many critics have been written? So don't underestimate that engineering is great or science is great and the other fields. No, all fields are equally important. All fields are equally difficult also. Equally difficult. Drama. Acting is not easy. Putting on a stage and satisfying grasping for 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, people in darkness in front of you is not a joke. Is not a joke. And you are doing same thing every day. A fellow who is acting in a drama, see, at least serial or film is different. You shoot and forget. But person who is acting on a stage, he is doing 400 times same thing, repeating. But what he does today has to be different than what he does tomorrow. Otherwise, he cannot satisfy that fellow who comes tomorrow. So it is equally difficult. Equally difficult. Classical singer, he is singing same raga, same yaman every time. Mahesh Kale or Rahul Deshpande or whatever. Same raga. Why are we going again and again? Because yesterday's recitation was not same as today's recitation. It is different. Rag is same. Presentation is different. So don't underestimate as if, engineering, medical, these people are great and others. No, they are equally. And now the new era of 21st century demands that all disciplines have integrated with each other. Integrated. Computer science is not a computer science alone. There is an art there. I do not know how many of you have read the either autobiography or a biography of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Can you tell me how many of you have read Steve Jobs? Say yes. Something wrong. He's a great man. He revolutionized the computer field. All your new laptops, new devices which you are getting is because of this gentleman. Do you know his story? At the age, he's of course, computer science graduate from a very good university. But till age of 22, he was zero, nothing. He was absolutely nothing. In fact, at the age of 23 or 24, he came to India and went to Himalaya. Steve Jobs came to India and went to Himalaya, made some yogi, etc., something, He wanted supernatural power, Unfortunately, he lost his passport and somewhere, his, as India, some jab cut was there and he lost his passport, purse, etc., and he has to go back. And after going back, he and his friend started this computer business in a garage. In a garage. And within 10 years, whole thing was changed. Why? He did not think only of computer science. He think about the customer. He thought about customer. What should I do with my laptop, or what should I do with this phone? Apple phone. Yeah, Apple, that fellow Apple. Apple, he was head of that Apple. And remember, at the age of 44, he died. So 22 to 44, only 20 years of contribution. He has revolutionized the field of laptop and mobile phones. Why? He was interested in every aspect, not only engineering aspect. How should be the color? What should be the shape? What should be the weight? What is more convenient for ladies? What is more convenient for young people? Everything he was thinking. So engineering is not engineering. Engineering is design, art, culture. People like black or some other color. They like round shape or straight. rectangle shape or oval shape. The weight should be more or less. How it will be convenient to keep it in the purse of a lady. Everything he taught. And do you know, he brought a person from Coca-Cola company. His most favorite colleague was a manager from Coca-Cola. What Coca-Cola has to do with laptop and computers? Nothing. Absolutely different field. But both of them, he was having ideas. That Coca-Cola fellow was having ideas. Ideas are important. Innovative things are important. So in teaching also, unless you do intuition, teaching, examination, why should you do bloody same 3 hours examination? What you are we see? We are all seeing our universities do not believe their own result. Our universities do not believe their own result. Therefore, a graduate fellow has to appear again for postgraduate entrance test. Why? Why are you not able to give based on your graduate result? No, again appear entrance test. Postgraduate fellow has to again appear for PET, for PhD. So many entrance tests. Your CBSE fellow has again appear for NET and NEET and JEE and all that. You are not believing board result. Of course, there are reasons for normalizations and other things, etc., etc. But our and again, even the fellow who is giving a job, he is also not believing your grade card. He again conducts interview. He again conducts his own aptitude test. Infosys or TCS or Reserve Bank or State Bank, whosoever they conduct their own test. So it means your tests are not believable, and we are spending crores of rupees. Just find out what is the budget of your examination branch of any university. Crores. And lakhs of manpower, man-hours. Lakhs of man-hours. Examiners, invigilator, paper setter, etc. Moderator. What do you gain? Are you really testing knowledge gain? Are you really testing the creativity of a person? Innovative nature? His aptitude? Are you testing? No. And your degree has absolutely nothing to do with your career. Listen, your degree has absolutely nothing to do with your career. Except those who come for teaching or except those who come for PhD, etc., and become scientists. You know, as a teacher, you have to study again the same subject. So we have to do. For PhD, I have to again study. For scientist, he has to use that knowledge. But except this teacher, scientist, PhD, which are hardly 5%, all 95%, they never use what they have learned in their college or school, in their whole life. I'll give you an example. Chetan Bhagat. Chetan Bhagat, mechanical engineer from IIT, MBA from Ahmedabad, worked in a bank. You see, mechanical engineer, MBA from bank, worked in a foreign bank for some years, earned money. Now what is he doing? Writing pictures, novels, writing columns in newspaper, enjoying. He is enjoying that work. Those who are Maharashtrian, they will know the name of Achyut Godbole. Achyut Godbole. Do you know? He is a chemical engineer from IIT. Chemical engineer from IIT. He never used chemical engineer in his own life. he became computer science expert. Can you believe it? He is a chemical engineer, but in his career, he became computer science expert. He wrote a textbook in computer science. And now, after retirement, I mean, spending nearly 30 years in the field of computer science, he is writing books in Marathi. He has written nearly 100 books in Marathi. 100 books. He wants to make any topic very simple in Marathi. So, Mahesh Kale, engineer, electronics engineer, classical singer, earns more than his own colleague, perhaps. His own colleagues, he must be earning more. He's an electronics engineer, BTech, and then he did also MS in electrical engineering from USA. But classical singer. So I mean, Gaur Gopal Das, famous saint, Adhyatmic Guru, electrical engineer from Pune. He's electrical engineering from COEP, College of Engineering, Pune. Gaur Gopal Das. Why? I had one colleague of mine in IIT Kharagpur, excellent student, very brilliant, got PhD, went to Canada. Now he's a Mahanta in one ashrama in Bihar. Mahant, excellent, brilliant. So your career, degree are absolutely, what is important, how you get, where you get joy. So first, you should do a work which you like, which you love. We should do a work which you love. And once you start working, love that work. Love that work. So even if you don't like teaching, but you have become a teacher, love that teaching work. Unless you love, you cannot deliver. Again, we started with delivery. Delivery. Unless mother loves the boy or girl in her womb, then only that development starts growing. That's what they call it, Garbha Samskar. The education starts there. I mean, there are a lot of stories about that also. That when, that Abhimanyu, etc., he knew how to enter into the Chakravyuha. So, whether you believe or not, it is a totally different story. But that samskar has some meaning. Therefore, what you teach, and please remember, strict teachers are always respected. Strict teachers are always respected. Students are afraid of those teachers. Somebody, see, for example, I feel guilty. I always feel guilty at this age that students were afraid of me. They said, sir, when you were teaching, we were scared of you. We were afraid of you. I do not know why. Whether my face is like that, or whether my personality is like that, I do not. But that is one of the drawbacks in me, which I could not get rid of. I did not, but one thing was there. Those students who were doing project with me, there was no problem. Those who came to be for thesis work, whether BTech or MTech or PhD scholar, they were very friendly. We used to dine together. They used to come to our house. We used to go to their house, etc. That is the intimacy was there. But normally students were otherwise, and I do not know why. What is wrong with me? I do not know. Till today, I do not know. So try to find good quality in you and try to find how best you can deliver. How best. Character development is more now, whatever situation you are seeing around, so much indiscipline, so much intolerance, so much students not coming into the class. Yes, students not coming into the class is a very big problem. Teacher, in my opinion, teachers are responsible. For students' indiscipline, in my opinion, we are responsible, nobody else. If you create a situation in your teaching and learning process that without attending a class, student cannot clear that subject or cannot pass, he will be forced to come. But unfortunately, we have created a situation, environment that even if he does not attend, he gets first class. He gets first class. That is irony. We are responsible for it. Now, I will tell you one incident regarding this so-called discipline and indiscipline and end there and then take again questions from you. The incident was again when I was the head of the department in Usmania University. Again, young, I had no experience of administration, nothing. But I was principled and disciplined. Student. First time I became the head. That time, I do not know how that procedure started, but there was a custom or tradition, you call it, whatever you call it, that first year students of engineering used to go unofficially on leave from Dasra to Diwali. I do not know who started, how it started, but they officially college was running. But first year students were always going on vacation from Dasra to Diwali. And principal was not able to do anything. Our engineering college, I'm talking. Principal was helpless. He was not able to do anything. When I became the head of the department, same thing started. Dasra came and student went. I thought, what should I do? I said, I will not tolerate. I went to the principal. I said, sir, we must do something. Please write a letter to all that we have not declared holidays and ask them to come to the class. No, I do not know why, but principal said, Pandharipande, don't bother. It is going on for so many years. Unnecessary, there will be trouble and morcha will come and all usual. Yeah, what? I said, I will not tolerate for my department. In fact, I did not have that authority as a head. Head has limited authority. Everything is in power, is in the hands of principal. Sir, I told him, sir, I will not tolerate for my department. So I am taking action. He said, okay, it is up to you. But I will advise you to be cautious. I said, you don't bother. Immediately, I have sent that time, telegram were there, telegram. So I sent telegram to all parents from my department that there are no holidays declared by the college. Your boy or a girl, son or a daughter, is unauthorized to be remain absent. There is no authority. I mean, they illegal rather. So if he or she does not join immediately, his name will be removed from the college. In fact, I did not have that authority. As a head department, you don't have to authority to remove the, but I wrote. Believe it or not, within 3-4 days, parents started coming with their son and daughter. No, they told that there is holiday. I said, where is the holiday? Did you inquire? Their son and daughter told the parent that there is the Diwali holiday started. I said, did you inquire? Then they became alert. And then next day, our department classes, only our department classes start. Only our department. In fact, there was one parent who was a sub-inspector from other town. He also came running. When the telegram came, he also came running and he told me, sir, I am in police department. If for any chance, if there is a problem, because girl students were telling that students from other department were threatening them. From other department, they are threatening that don't attend. He said, sir, you don't bother. If there is any problem, I will provide the police force to you. Our department started. Next 2-3 days, our department classes start. And believe me, that was the last holiday enjoyed by students. Next year, all departments students attended the class. Somebody has to bell the cat. Somebody has to bell. Somebody has to take action. Toleration will discipline. This thing you should not talk. See, when you say attendance, they are not attending. What do you mean by they are not attending? When 75% attendance is a compulsory, why should you not insist on it? And if somebody is forcing you, higher authorities, etc., you said, yes, in my class it is not possible. Can you not tell? I will not tolerate. In college, you want to do anything, you do. In my class, without 75% attendance, he or she cannot appear for the examination. That's all. Have guts. Somebody has to do it. See, teaching does not mean teaching a subject. Teaching means teaching for life, preparing for life, preparing for unusual eventualities, preparing for unexpected results, preparing for unwanted circumstances. That is teaching. With this, I will stop. But for next few minutes, we will take some questions, not only based on what I have said, but if you have in general any question related to any field, if I can answer, I will answer. Need not be related to my. Okay, but before I finish, one thing. There is a small assignment I have given that you have to write one sentence about your course and one sentence about your subject. Define your subject and define your course and submit it to coordinator. Another question is based on our discussion and my lecture and discussion also. Prepare 2 questions. Only 2 questions. MCQ, multiple choice. So prepare a question with 4 answers, A, B, C, D, and send it to the coordinator with key. Key also you should send that which answer is correct according to you. Okay. So only 2 questions which you can do immediately after my lecture is over. If you do it within 15 minutes, it will be easy. Setting 2 questions is not a very big issue. So set 2 multiple choice questions based on my lecture and give its key that according to you, which answer is correct. Send it to the coordinator within 1 hour of my lecture. That matter is open for discussion. Platform is open for discussion. Any question you can ask. Yes. Come on. You unmute and ask. Most of you have left or what? For sleeping. It's not good. Not asking question is not a good sign. Not asking question is not a good sign for me. We want to have a very good live discussion after this. Yes, come on. Coordinator, please manage.
जैसे ऑल पार्टिसिपेंट आपको ऑलरेडी हमने अनम्यूट किया है, आप अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं सर खुद को.
हाँ प्लीज. हाँ आप अनम्यूट कर दीजिए सबको और क्वेश्चन पूछने दीजिए. Yes. Loudly, madam. Somebody has asked that what are the minimum requirements for accreditation or this thing. It is all available on UGC website. Don't ask the questions which are available on UGC website. The answer to that question is available on UGC website. UGC or AICTE or university. All requirements are autonomous status. All these are openly available for with UGC, AICTE and concerned university. Any other question?
सर जी
Yes.
ये मैं
Yeah. Ask question. Yes. Unmute and ask.
So my doubt is, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
My main concern is that because of this too much guidelines, each year multiple committees there are too much committees, and I belong to a government college. So the problem is that we are not getting quality time for teaching. So we are bound to be in these committees, and we have the faculties are too much. Just half is the
Yeah, I have understood your difficulty and question. But madam, one thing I would like to tell you. I totally agree with you. Different committee comes and they ask different pro forma, AICT different pro forma, UGC different pro forma, college different pro forma, all that nonsense. It is I totally agree it is a nonsense. But if now with digitization, now earlier it was difficult when it was computers were not there and other things, everything has to be done by hand. It was difficult. But now with digitization, if on that day, if you do that entry, then whichever committee comes, it is a cut and paste and you can submit a report. Earlier it was difficult. For example,
But the system keeps us very busy. Different committees are so the system of committees keeps the teachers very busy. Not only giving the report is a difficult task, sir.
No. That committees keep you busy. That is only for 2-3 days. I am talking about preparing a report and other things for which you have to spend lot of time. Earlier it was there, for any. See, committee comes only for 2 days. Okay. Now time is spent for preparing for the committee. Now that data earlier used to take a lot of time, but now what they ask analysis of result, they ask publications, they ask attendance. All this data is already in digital form. It is a question of cut and paste. Now, earlier it was difficult. Suppose you have gone for a conference. What you should do? As soon as I come from the conference, I write and upload complete that I went to the conference, presented the paper. That's all. Whatever, then prepare a template for each faculty. For each faculty, let there be a template. So suppose he has gone for conference, he gave a lecture, he went for a committee, etc. He published a paper. In that template, he can simply add on that day, it is question and it gets added. So digitization, now the things are easier. But yes, I totally agree that different committees coming, they have different performance and same information. Unfortunately, they ask, which is of course a foolishness. I totally agree with you, but you can teach a lesson to them also.
In our college, we have 2 different committees like NSS and Department of Lifelong Learning and Extension. Both these committees, they work in competition. And the aim is to reach to unreach or provide social, some program they have to organize in a social manner. So community ko involve karke. So at that time, what happens? We have to, according to the guidelines of that committee, we have to organize various programs. the number of programs like 20 or 30, it comes from in the guidelines. So
now
Pura
let me tell
Saal,
you
we
one.
have to organize
Now
the
let me
same thing and
now let me
type
now let
of
me tell let me tell you, madam. I totally agree with you.
and along
But
with that, this NEP is there, new system of education. So all this together becomes a big task, sir.
yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. This is a usual complaint from everything. But remember one thing: those who are coming as an expert are also teachers, mostly. Do you agree? Mostly they are teachers. When IAS officer from AICT, etc., may be there, mostly they are teachers and they also understand your difficulty. Provided you take them into confidence and be friendly with them. So, if you are sincere, if you are honest, and if you are good, they will also be your friends and understand your problem. But problem comes when you manipulate, when you want to do something wrong, then the problem starts. But if you are sincere, honest, and convince them, then if some data is missing or something, and you show that this is there, they will get convinced. But earlier it was very difficult to manage because the pro forma used to change and other things. But now with digitization, things have become faster. It is a question of cut and paste, provided you do entries regular. As I told you, suppose I have taken a class, yes, my attendance is today uploaded immediately. Suppose I have conducted a test, my marks are uploaded within 1 hour. What we do, we keep on pending that work. And then that becomes, it piles up, and then there is a problem. If I do it immediately, there will not be problem. I mean, we must be disciplined for that. If we are disciplined, then problems will be less. Although I totally agree that this is a headache, additional headache, but it becomes a headache because of our disorganization. If we are organized, then it won't be headache. You ask me any time, my attendance is ready. You ask me sessional marks, my sessional marks are ready. Because it is all digitized now.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Anybody else?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this is Chandan Kamble from Nagpur, sir, and I am working
Yes.
as assistant professor.
Yeah.
Sir, our college is autonomous status, but for every 3 years, the management is asking for you have to appear for the NBA and NAC. So, is it
Yes.
necessary, sir? And why it is necessary if the
No,
particular institute is autonomous institute, there is a standard.
No, I'm telling you, this is because people expect that you are not good, but you are consistently good. See, suppose you are asked to, you are good. Suppose you are asked to prepare some mithai today. Okay. So by chance today that mithai is good, but consistently whether that is every day it is good or not, that is it. So it is that 3 years etc. is because of consistency. Whether the quality is consistently good or not. Only for accreditation you do something and then relax. That is not expected. If I am sincere teacher, every day I must be sincere. If I am sincere examiner, for every examination I have to be sincere. So that 3 years or 5 years is because of that consistency in quality. See, do you know, I served in IIT for 11 years. I served in Usmania University for more than 3 decades. In my whole life, I have never signed attendance register. Never signed. Nobody asked me where you are, why you have not signed. Nobody asked me. You have to earn that. You have to earn that reputation. You have to earn. Fellow is available for 20 hours.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. But what happens, sir, after when the committee visit, like NBA, they are asking for the other documents. They are verifying every documents except the salary slip, sir.
That you give them. You give them salary slip. Why are you not giving them salary slip?
Yes, sir.
No, so don't blame them. It is your duty to give them. I have understood your question. I have understood your question. I am asking, you give them.
Definitely, sir. Thank you very much.
Next. Yeah, some lady was asking. Some lady was asking something. Please come on. Some lady teacher was asking. Any question related to lecture or otherwise? Teaching, learning, examination, research.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, nowadays the 2020 NEP education policy and traditional method, what difference, sir?
Huh?
Difference between old education policy 1986, sir. Now 2020 new education policy, sir.
Yes.
Which of the education is good, sir?
Now you tell me one thing. You are from where? You are in which branch?
What, sir?
You are from which branch?
I am Commerce, sir, from Tamil Nadu, sir.
Okay, commerce. I am telling you.
Yes, sir.
This higher education policy document.
Yes, sir.
In new education policy is only is only 40 pages. 40 pages available on website.
Okay, sir.
Now, as a teacher, is it not your duty and responsibility to study that? It is available on website. It is available on website.
Okay,
and,
sir.
and it is only 40 pages. 40 pages. See, I am telling you, problem with us is that from 2020, now it is 2026. What are we doing? We are only conducting seminars, workshops, lectures on NEP. Nobody
Yes,
is
sir.
bothered. Nobody is bothered how to implement it. How to implement it. Nobody is bothered. But conduct seminars, conduct workshops. I am fed up of this seminars and workshops, etc. Implementation is very important. And that implementation is not difficult. Do it sincerely. Whatever I told in last 1 year, 1 hour, that your delivery, multidisciplinary aspect, only one subject will not do. Suppose you are from which field? What is your subject?
Sir?
What is
Commerce,
your subject?
Sir. Commerce.
So you are commerce. Now commerce is not enough. Now since you are in commerce, let me tell you one thing. Do you know that in commerce, our rupee has a sign R? Earlier, our currency sign was not there. Dollar sign is there, dollar sign. Yen sign is there, yen. Euro sign is there, but rupee did not have a sign. Reserve Bank, you know, the rupee was
Yes,
not
sir.
having sign. Now it has a sign. Do you know that? Now, who has invented that? Being a commerce man, you should know it. Tell me. That rupee You know rupee sign, how it is there? It is a R in Hindi. R. And there is a line. R and line. That sign, who has invented, do you know? Now, is it not your job to know that? When you are teaching commerce and banking to the student, but we are ignorant about how that rupee sign was invented, when it came.
Excuse me, sir.
See, we long back, we did not do it. We
Sir.
did not have a currency sign. Yes, somebody interrupted me.
Sorry, sir. I just wanted to say it was a student of Industrial Design Center, IIT Bombay, who had
Very good, very
designed
good, very
this.
good, very good, very good. Correct. And there
Thank you,
was a
sir.
competition. There was a
Yes, sir.
competition by Reserve Bank of India. And so why I wanted to give this example, that in fact that sign should have been invented by commerce and economics person. But this IIT student came into picture and he won it. It means how interdisciplinary things are there. Commerce problem was solved by IITian. And that is what new education policy demands. Now, doctor cannot do anything without electronics instrumentation. All our diagnosis and the analysis of blood, heart, pulse, liver, everything is all electronically monitored. Computer analysis. So, if suppose medical field where medical doctor says, I do not know computers, I do not know instrumentation, he cannot do practice now. Earlier it is gone, only one stethoscope and pulse he will see and give medicine. No. So doctor has to know electronics, computers, everything. Chemical fellow has to know chemistry, nanotechnology, and other things. And this type of interdisciplinary thing, research, etc., is very much encouraged. I think 2012, if I'm not wrong, my year may be wrong, around 2012, I think, most probably, the person who got a Nobel Prize in chemistry, he's a Indian, Professor Venkatraman or some, Professor Venkatraman. Do you know, all his degrees are in physics. Professor Venkatraman, MSc, BSc, PhD, all degrees are in physics. He got a Nobel Prize in chemistry. He teaches biochemistry, does research in nanotechnology or bioinformatics, whatever. So, this interdisciplinary business is very important, and that is what this new education policy is, a credit-based system. See, whatever I like, I take 60%. Say, I like mathematics, so I learn 60% mathematics. But suppose I have interest in music, I take 4 credits from music. I like drama, I take 4 credits from drama department. I want to learn management, I'll take 1 course from management. So this type of flexibility is the crux of new education policy. You can hire the credits from various departments and enrich your that bank balance of credit. That flexibility is there. If you get more credits, you can become postgraduate. If you get more credits, you can become PG by research or BSc honors. So this type of flexibility, and you can come at any time and go at any time also. So graduation, do for 2 years, go for a job. If in their job, if you do some design and other thing, that can be earned as a credit in the university. and continue your education. So this type of flexibility is very, very important. It was very much required. It was not there earlier. See, just now Professor Rafe told that I am a writer in Marathi. I have written 32 books. But suppose tomorrow I want to do PhD in Marathi. Will they give me admission? They won't give. In our university will not give me admission for PhD in Marathi. So we had so much rules and restrictions. Okay. Anybody?
Hello, sir. I am from Lasalgaon. My
Yes.
question is, how does the autonomous college system ensure quality assurance and accountability while maintaining independence from the university?
No, because number is less. No, see, the problem is your administration, university administration circle is a big circle. Lakhs of students. So they cannot declare the results in time. See, unless all 5 lakhs answer scripts are declared, valued, they cannot declare the results. Whereas when you are autonomous, it is your class, your branch, your department. So it is very easy to declare results quickly. Within now autonomous colleges are declared results within a week. They are giving even final year students, they are giving degrees in 1 month. It was not possible because so many big university was a big affair. So autonomy, because of small circle, it is like a small family. Problems are less. Of course, I cannot compare that family culture, but small family, big family. Obviously, complications will be more. In small family, complications are less, and you can quickly take the decision. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Or you have any doubt?
No further doubts, sir.
Yeah. Yes, anybody? Anybody else?
Yes, sir. My question is
Please.
related to teachers and student. My question is,
Yes.
how can the combined contribution of student and teachers be measured to improve the quality of education or value education?
Can you repeat it again?
How can the combined contributions of student and teachers be measured to improve the quality of education or value education?
No, see, last 1 hour or 2 hours, we are discussing the same thing, no? I told you so many stories. All those stories are related with very good correlation, very good cooperation between students and teacher.
Teachers.
As a student, I have understood my teacher. As a teacher, he understood me as a student, and therefore we are at this stage. I mean, I am at this stage. That is what I wanted to prove it by example. See, there is no point in giving a lecture. I don't believe. I want to prove it by example. See, purpose of today's lecture, which is totally different than the lectures which you are witnessing in such a seminar. You see, I have not shown any slides. There was no PowerPoint presentation, etc. Why? Because I want to teach, or I want to make it a point, or I want to impress by examples. And these examples are real life examples, not examples from Mahabharata or Ramayana. They are real life examples. And they are related to last 30, 40 years of journey of education. And in various fields also. Administration, teaching, examination, valuation, laboratories. All aspects are important. So everybody has to contribute. See, it is whole classroom must be charged. when you teach. They must be alert. Students must be alert. Nobody should dare to see his mobile or talk with each other. They must concentrate totally and get involved. It is involving process. Learning is an involving process. Ask questions. Ask their experience. What do you feel? What do you feel? What do you feel? Then whole class will get charged. Okay? Any other question? Coordinator, if there are no questions, shall we stop?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
How are 4-year undergraduate courses implemented in colleges that lack the specific laboratory infrastructure or any postgraduate program?
If they lack me, so see, if they are lacking,
If
then
they,
how do they get
no,
approval?
no. If there is no postgraduate course and
No,
BSc
no,
honors is of 4 year.
no.
So
See, having postgraduate course or not is not a criteria. If you do undergraduate teaching properly, it is enough. There is no need to have postgraduate courses. I mean, why should how having postgraduate course contributes undergraduate teaching? I don't understand. Yes, but for undergraduate teaching, whatever laboratories are required, you must have. Without that, if it is science or engineering, undergraduate laboratories must be updated. Must be updated. But it has nothing to do with having postgraduate course or not having postgraduate. It is not at all, because nowadays, especially in science and engineering, especially in engineering, the flow for postgraduate, nobody wants to do postgraduate now. They want to stop at undergraduate and get a job. And quality of post-graduation is deteriorating now.
Sir, my question is that if my institute is having only up to the 3rd year, and if anyone student want to do BSc honors, that is of 4 year. So is it possible for to doing the BSc honors?
College has to provide that much laboratory facilities. Now for honors, you must have some research facilities, no?
Yes.
Suppose it is in physics. So he must have a good nuclear physics laboratory. He must have some good equipment, modern equipment, software. Then only, without that, how will you do? Honors means research.
Okay.
So for research facility, I mean, laboratory must not be a normal UG laboratory. It must be slightly upgraded laboratory with all modern equipments and modern software.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Coordinator, please wind up. Thank you very much. Submit your assignments. Coordinator. Coordinator, please. Coordinator. Who is coordinating? Please wind up. That is the end of my. Thank you very much.